Welcome to the Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show, where we make plant-based cooking easy. I'm Jill, and today we are going to make some zucchini fritters.
Grab a plate, 'cause it's the all-free whole food plant-based cooking show.
Welcome back to the show, everybody, for another week and another recipe. So today we have a special recipe. It comes from my idea wall, and the supporting members get to vote on which recipe I work on next. And this was the winner for last month, so I finally worked out a recipe, and I hope you all absolutely love this recipe. So the printed version of the recipe with all of the ingredients will be in the details below in a link. So we'll just get started here. I've got 2 cups of zucchini that I've already shredded, and I've squeezed the juice out of them. And there's a special way that I do it that's really simple. By just wrapping it in a towel and a tea towel, and I just squeeze the juice out until it's pretty dry. So after that, the amount is 2 cups. So you start with more than that, but you get down to 2 cups. And then I have a cup of shredded carrots, but you don't have to squeeze the juice out of those because they're not quite as watery. So just pop those into a pretty decent sized bowl. And then I have a 1/2 cup of diced red bell pepper and a 1/4 cup. These happen to be chives, but you can use spring onion, or you could even use diced red onion. They all work. It's just for that really nice oniony flavor. Okay, for our spices, we've got 1 teaspoon of dill, dried dill, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, because that happens to be my favorite seasoning to use. Teaspoon of turmeric. We have a tablespoon of flax meal, and that's going to help as we mix that together and the juices start coming out of everything. It's going to help kind of glue that all together. Along with, this is 2 tablespoons of arrowroot powder. If you don't have arrowroot powder, you could use cornstarch. It works just about the same. And that's going to help it glue together too pretty nicely. Then we have a tablespoon, or is it a teaspoon? A tablespoon of lemon juice, which is about 1/2 of a lemon. Kind of depends on the size of your lemon. Get all of that out of there. And we have some cracked pepper. I always add cracked pepper. It's probably about a 1/2 teaspoon's worth. There you go. And a tablespoon of Bragg's liquid aminos. And if, like I always say, if you don't have the Bragg's liquid aminos, you can always use a little bit of soy sauce or a tamari sauce. Works just the same. And then we have 1 cup of chickpea flour. And that is instead of a whole wheat flour, because these are also gluten-free. So we're not using eggs, and we're not using gluten flour. So that, this covers a lot more people, and it's a lot healthier for you for sure. And hopefully, all those people out there that have allergies or have gluten intolerance, they'll be able to enjoy this just as well. So instead of using a spoon, you're gonna have to get dirty on this one. It's really best to just mash it together with your hands, because you really want it to get it to stick together, so that when you're eating that patty, it doesn't just fall apart, or when you're trying to mash it together and we put it in the oven. So it gets nice and sticky. All that moisture comes out, and you're left with, see that? See how nice that is? And if you squeeze it a bit together, it sticks together. See that? Okay, so I already have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I have a cookie sheet that's lined with some parchment paper. So you get your cookie sheet lined with parchment paper here, or you could use a cookie sheet with a little light oil on it or something like that, but we're trying not to use any added oils. We don't really need to use that. So So I find that parchment paper works really great. Or you could use one of those Silpat sheets. Those are great too. All right, so then you just start making your patties. And I just kind of roll it in a ball and then put it on here and kind of just smash it down. You don't want it to be too thick because then it won't bake through. So probably a little less than ½ of an inch tall. And the size is also completely up to you. If you want to make a bigger type of one that's, you know, the size of a burger, you could actually eat these as burgers. These would be delicious in a burger. But I kind of like a little bit of a smaller patty. It's more of a, it's kind of a side dish, I guess. And you could serve it along with, you know, some other type of salad. Like my Mexican street corn salad, that is delicious with this. Okay, I'm gonna continue mashing these out and then we're gonna pop them into the oven. While we're waiting for that, I'd like to share with you some background on our show. The Whole Food Plant-Based Cooking Show is crowd-funded, which means these free weekly recipe videos, along with our entire catalog of recipes on our website, plantbasedcookingshow.com, and our new Plant-Based Cooking Made Easy cookbook are all made possible in part by the generous patronage of our supporting members. By becoming a supporting member, you gain access to great member perks like monthly product giveaways, free downloads of our ebooks, and access to our in-depth courses, including our 28 Days Plant-Based Made Easy course, where we offer a step-by-step guide to making the switch to a fully plant-based diet. We create this show for the hundreds of thousands of viewers just like you who tune in each month from all over the world to make it easy for everyone to live a plant-based lifestyle. So if you love our content, please join us on our mission and become a supporting member today by following the link in the description. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so I'm done. This made 10. You could probably stretch this and make it into a dozen, or if you're making them bigger, it's gonna make less, obviously. So we're gonna get these into the oven. We're gonna put them in for 20 minutes. Then we're gonna flip them, and then we're gonna put them in for another 20 minutes on the other side. Okay guys, they are out and smelling amazing. Come on in for a look so you can see what the finished product looks like. Oh, they look so good and I can't wait to dig in. So I'm gonna grab some dipping sauce and I'll meet you at the table for a taste. Okay guys, it is time for a taste. I want you to see this, see how they're nice and firm. And if you look at that, I'm gonna break one open. Look at that, it all sticks together. Look at that golden color. Oh, and they smell so good. And I got myself some ranch dipping sauce here. This is our ranch dressing, and we'll give you a link in the details below for that. Mmm. Mmm. That is hard to describe. You have so many different, the seasonings, it's a little tangy, it's a little sweet, it's nice and chewy. The outside's a little bit crisp. And I tell you what, we've had plenty of these in the whole realm of me testing out the recipes, and they're super filling. So you guys are gonna love it. They'll go good with just about anything. A side salad, some vegetables on the side. Delicious. So be sure to give this show a like, guys, and I'll see you next week for another great recipe. Mm-hmm.